What's good, guys? Hope you're all having a sick day. The 33 as of late has really been finding a special place in my heart. It was the car that I bought super cheap so I could get that thing out on track and slam some walls, and it very quickly became something that I spent a lot of money on, a lot of time on fixing, and something that I really honestly do appreciate. It's a mint car. Building it from the ground up basically has given me a massive appreciation for this car, and it has been so nice that now, as of late, we've really been trying to get it out on track as much as humanly possible. First of all, I actually have had my first issue in months with this car. I've developed a little bit of a knock at the front end when I turn immediately left. I'm not quite sure exactly what it could be. I'm praying to God it's not a steering rack, because I've heard they're very expensive. I do not want to be replacing steering racks at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly jack the car up, see if I can feel around and wiggle some stuff back and forward. If I can't find anything, I'll take the wheels off. Just do a quick nut and bolt check of everything underneath the front end to do with the steering. I feel like it's coming from the front end. It seems to only do it when there's a very big weight change from right into a quick left. I don't know, it feels weird. It feels like maybe the car's settling in one spot, and then as soon as you do a quick movement, it like, I don't know. It feels like even rack bushes potentially might just be knocking from side to side. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't happen when it's over bumpy roads. It only happens when I'm turning a quick left. So fingers crossed, it should be a really simple fix. Hopefully something might just be a little bit loose. You know, worst case scenario, it could just be a bushing or something like that. I really hope it's not a steering rack though. So we're gonna jack it up, wiggle some stuff back and forward, see what we can find. Okay, so already jumping in, you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can't really hear it, but there's nothing over this side here whatsoever. And then the side that I originally thought was the issue, which is the driver's side, listen to this. I don't really know how to put you guys down so you can hear it, but you can maybe kind of see it. There's certainly, yeah, feel that. There's certainly some big play there. So fingers crossed it's just like a tie rod or something, but could just be a bushing or something. We'll take off this wheel and we'll see what the issue is. I'm praying to God it's something small. Whew, let's hope. Alrighty, looks as though my tie rod has come to the end of its life. Unfortunately, I think this might be my culprit right here. I can feel it move and do everything it needs to, and when I wiggle this back and forward, all I can see is this part here moving or not, so that's alright. Grab a new tie rod, that should be fine. Alright guys, so I just sort of like degrease the ball joint, and probably wasn't the greatest idea. I will probably just pack it with some grease just for now, just so we can get it through the next couple of days, because I don't know, we won't get anything by the weekend. But as you guys can see, that boot there is not looking too healthy whatsoever. And around this side here, I don't know if you guys can exactly see that. Yeah, that right there is the boot flopping about. So we have a bit of an issue here, which we will have to replace that tie rod. So that's completely fine. I'll get to ordering that. However, it will be completely fine for the next couple of days. It's not too bad at the moment. There's only a little tiny knock here and there. So I'll still go through, I'll bolt check everything just to make sure. I don't want to obviously get out to the track and then have nothing work and then have something come loose on me really quickly. At least I know that ball joint won't be able to come loose because there's a pin through it, so that's completely fine. So we'll get under the car, just bolt check absolutely everything, do the coilovers, do everything. And I'm also going to check out the back. We're also going to fix that handbrake tonight as well. But yes, this thing has been absolutely flawless as of recently with that new trigger kit, and the wideband sensor and everything has just been perfect on this car. And we also have the new Hypergear Turbo being built. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's doing to it just yet, but either way, I'm stoked to hopefully make this thing, or give it a, like probably an extra 70, 80-ish horsepower. So that'll be a lot of fun. Right, so wheels back on. and we'll worry about that whole situation later. We'll check out the back, we'll do this handbrake. Rightio, so it also looks like down here, this one here also isn't looking too flash at all. You can see the boot is all cracked up around there. So I'll grab two, so that way we can do them both at the same time. Might make it a little bit easier, then we can go get the alignment done after they're both done. And I'll see if I can also find some more angle mods as well. So it was actually a really nice thing checking that. And I'm actually kind of glad, because the silver lining in this story, even though we have to replace both those tie rods, I just jumped under the car and my hands are not covered in oil. There's a little bit of dirt, but there's no oil. And for the first time, I think, since this car, since I've ever owned this car, there has been no oil leaks whatsoever. I haven't jumped onto this car for about 6 months. There's been no oil. So happy. So I've just quickly done a quick bolt check of everything. I literally checked everything from the top of the coilovers. I did notice that this sway bar was a little bit loose. Definitely wasn't loose enough. Like, it was to the point where I got a 3/8 and I literally could move it like, I did it maybe like quarter of a turn. Certainly not the reason for the knocking. I definitely like 99% sure that it's that tie rod over there that's causing the issue. So yes, I checked the steering rack. Steering rack is all tight. Upper and lower control arms are all tight. The coilovers are all tight. The sway bar mounts on the chassis was all tight. Everything was beautiful and tight under there. I'm amazed at the life of these rapid tires. Like, I don't skid on the street, but like I've done a hell heap of like wet events and some drifting and all that sort of stuff and some grip days, and they still have plenty of tread. Well, I say plenty, they're getting a little bit worn down here, but still, I'm pretty stoked with them. And these TSG wheels, whew. At the moment, the handbrake has just been dreadful. Only one wheel will lock up, if it even does. The handbrake doesn't like to hold it. The actual handbrake cable itself has been stretched. I've tried adjusting this handbrake before. It's just a nightmare. I go back and forward the entire time. Just gonna sit down here, gonna do my thing. I'm gonna just relax, put on some music, and adjust my handbrake, and life will be good. But it won't be, because it's the STD33, and everything sucks.
8 hours later.
I have been playing around with the handbrake. Z32 handbrake, R33 handbrake, all that sort of stuff sucks. I hate working on it. Every single time I've worked on it, I've had issues. But this is the closest I've been to actually being able to solve them. So the issue I was having was one of my wheels was locking up harder than the other. I know that the center cable that I have is very, very badly stretched. However, I think I might have just found a solution or a problem that I've had. So if you guys have a look, you guys can see that this little, I'll see if I can focus on it. There's a little clip that just holds the two handbrakes in place. Oh, there you go. So you guys can see, I'll see if I can point to it on camera, that thing right there. Now looking at it at the back side here, you guys can see right there that it's actually not clipped onto anything. That should be around that secondary shoe right there. Coming around to this side here, I'll show you what it should look like. So, oh, okay, don't worry. Anyway, take my word for it. 6th time I've had to redo these, but I think this is the closest I've had. All right, so I've managed to pull it apart just as much as I need. So as you guys can see, there's a little plate that sits just down in here. So it has like a guide on this side here, and then this side here it has a spring. And what this does is this allows the pressure to evenly distribute across both brake shoes. So what this was doing is this was just chilling here, and this one here was just chilling. I'll show you guys what I mean. It's all, stop it. So it was just chilling like that. So there was nothing to, like, it was being held on, but there was nothing to tell this brake shoe to go out. And that's probably another reason why we're seeing uneven brake wear on each side of this. So now, this little thing right here should have been directly in the center there. And what that'll do is that'll clamp down, and that way it'll apply pressure to both sides of this whole assembly, and hopefully we should have more outwards clamping force. So I'm going to rebuild it. I only just removed a spring and this, which by the way, all of these are bent, which probably isn't ideal either. Either way, yeah, I'm going to reinstall the spring, reinstall that, and make sure that that little shoe is exactly where it needs to be, and we should be good to go. Fingers crossed. That is looking much healthier. I fixed it. I have fixed it. And finally, I have a working R33 handbrake. I have no idea how long it's been since this thing has been working. So my issue is that that guide or selector or whatever it was unfortunately it wasn't putting even pressure on each side, which means that when I was pulling the handbrake, this one here was only engaging a very small amount and leaving a little bit of slack on the cable, which was allowing this one over here to actually have more clamping force. So when I left them, or when I adjusted them so that they were both not grabbing on the actual housing itself, when I'd pull the handbrake, this one here would grab like crazy, this one here wouldn't grab at all, or like very, very slightly. So that's why I was having one wheel that would spin, one wheel that won't. So after fixing that little caliper guide thing up there, it allowed both of them to expand evenly, and now when I let the handbrake all the way down, it's 100% perfect. And now when I let the handbrake down, it's 100% perfect. They both flow freely, and then as soon as I pull the handbrake up, which is now a lot shorter than all the way up that I was having to rip it, it is gripping up on both sides, and it is 100% flawless, evenly, and they both will not rotate. So that right there is a win in my books, and this wet session on Friday should be very fun. I am very stoked at this. Can't wait.
Following Thursday.
I fixed it. I have fixed it. And finally, I have a working R33 handbrake. I have no idea how long it's been since this thing has been working. It is gripping up on both sides, and it is 100% flawless, evenly, and they both will not rotate. So that right there is a win in my books. I am very stoked at this. After 2 years of owning this nugget, I fixed it. I'm pretty happy. It's weird to me to think that coming up in November, I will have owned the 33 for 2 years now. It definitely doesn't seem like it's been that long, but man, it's been a wicked car. So many of my firsts in this car. First engine rebuild, first ever gearbox out, first ever diff out by myself, first standalone ECU, first time trying to tune it myself. Just, there's so many cool things on this car. And this rotary right here will hopefully be my first ever turbo conversion. So very, very happy about that. I am so stoked at both these cars. I'm loving it. Righty, I'll take her out for a quick test rip. Make sure this handbrake locks up all G. Check out how much movement this has now. That is on. It used to be like all the way up here. Oh, it's so much better. Can confirm. Problem solved. Oh, what's up guys? So, it's a few days later. We've actually just got back from taking the Skyline out, and so sorry this video is all mixed around and everything, but I thought I would include it in this video simply because I want to show you guys ASAP. I'd rather not drag it out for so crazy long. I'd rather not bore you guys with sneak peeks for 2 weeks. You guys all know it. A few months ago, we ended up getting rid of what was my dream car, and we ended up buying another dream car of mine, being the FD. And that's left a very Falcon-shaped hole in my heart. And so today, I have something very, very special to show you guys. That's correct, guys. All in the background of all the videos you guys would have seen, we have been hiding this beautiful Breeze BF XR6. Now, before I get into anything, I want to give you guys a quick little disclaimer and tell you guys that this is not actually my car. Yes, technically I did buy it, and yes, technically I do have it. But for those of you who don't know, over the last 5 years, rather unfortunately, my parents have lived over in America. Fortunately for them, unfortunately for us as a family, we've never actually been able to go out and just randomly see each other. You know, like they used to be up in Gladstone, I was down in Brisbane. There'd be a nice quick 6-hour drive up. But fortunately, Dad was able to get a job over in America for a few years. So, of course, as any sane person would do, they'd go over there and live over there for the last 5 years. Now, obviously, when that comes to an end, you got to come back to reality, and it's going to be really cool to have all of my family back here in Australia. It's been way too long. I haven't seen them. This is the longest I haven't seen them. I'm very fortunate that my family's always been very, very close, and to be, you know, other side of the world, and especially through COVID, where you don't even get a chance to go over and see them. It's a bit unfortunate, but today is a massive, massive, massive big step forward because a couple of months back, they let me know that they're actually planning to return to Brisbane or return to Queensland or return to Australia in 2 months' time. You guys might have seen or have met my dad in a couple of videos. I don't think you guys have met my mum yet, but they are super lovely people. And when my dad said, we need to look out for a car for him to return, I said, look no further, I'll help you out, no worries at all. So I asked him a few questions and I said, what exactly do you want in a car? And he's like, well, he's got a few containers coming back over from the States of just tools and like toolboxes and stuff like that, much like the US General one that I have over there. Tools are so cheap over there, everything's really cheap. So he's bringing back a couple of bikes, few spare parts for cars and stuff like that because he's building an XB and a few other cars as well. So it's going to be really cool to have him back and be able to work on those cars with him as well. But obviously he needed something to carry around some stuff. And so I asked him what he wanted in a ute. And he's like, yeah, well, just something I can quickly tow around some trailers with if I really need to. Nothing that's really going to need to tow around a car. That's no worries at all. So I was originally thinking like, you know, Hilux or something along those lines. But sure enough, he was interested in the Falcon. So I looked around at some Falcons, and this one right here, as soon as I went on Marketplace, came straight up. And the original owner, his name was Jacob, super, super nice bloke. He helped me out through the whole process, even knew who I was, which was really cool. So yes, we picked up a beautiful Breeze BF Ute for my dad. And I wasn't even looking for this particular color. I was just looking for a good deal because at the moment, Falcons are ridiculously priced. Like, to be honest, back 3 years ago when I sold my Falcon, I probably wouldn't have paid any more than maybe $3 grand for this car, being just a standard BF XR6, no turbo or anything. I probably wouldn't have paid any more than 4. These cars are honestly great workhorses. They do a brilliant job. And yeah, so this one here is just a standard Barra 6, no turbo, and a BTR 4-speed. However, it's had a fresh respray. The last owner definitely took really good care of it. The car's actually been in his family for I think 13 or so years, he was saying. So originally it was a tray back. He put a tub on the back, and the car's had a really good respray. So it's a little bit hit and miss on areas, but to be honest, for what it makes up for in like lack of depth, I know that my dad's going to be driving the crap out of this car. As I was saying, like the lack of depth in the paint, kind of the fact that there's no scratches on it whatsoever kind of make up for it. Like there's a few little stone chips on the front here which we will be addressing. I'll grab some Breeze touch-up paint. We'll go over the whole lot. We're going to give this car a really good paint correction, which is probably what it really needs to bring that shine to it. So we're going to be doing that over the next couple of months. Like it's definitely not the tidiest Ute. It definitely needs a little bit of fixing up. You guys can see the headlights here have been sanded back and they're faded up, so we'll be able to fix that as well. The actual paint job itself isn't too bad. However, there is a few runs in the paint, as well as some of the rubber moldings and everything actually have paint on them as well. Just like the whole, like the masking effort up here isn't that great. So we'll be able to go across the whole thing and we'll fix it up for him. Also, this isn't a cover. This is just a hail cover that I usually put on the Skyline and stuff. But you guys can see it's got holes in all the back for a soft cover. So I really want to try and find one of them. I have no idea. But hey, if anyone out there has a soft cover, please let me know because I really want to buy one. But yes, you guys can see it is a absolutely beautiful Ute. I love this color. Interior wise, it's not actually too bad. So I completely didn't tell you guys the case. 214,000. So it's understandable. Dad was looking for a little bit less Ks, but to be honest, as long as a car is well looked after, much like this one here, then it presents really well. You know, there's cars out there that I've seen that have a worse interior at 50,000 Ks than 214, and both of my Falcons have well surpassed 200,000 Ks, and they still looked honestly brand new. So looking inside the interior, the glove box has got a few little nicks and scratches, as well as the handbrake has got a little bit of chunky stuff on the end of it. So we'll be able to fix all that up. And also it's starting to like crack up around the D, around the shifter thing, so we'll be able to fix all that up as well. Beautiful BF seats. There's no rips, no cracks, no nothing. There is a bit of a crack down there, but they all do that. That's no worries at all. So there's a few things that I can fix up and I can do that sort of stuff with. So so getting some new interior pieces for my parents, no stress at all. We'll have a look under the bonnet, because there's a few things under there I will show you guys that we wanted to fix as well. So just letting you guys all know, in today's market, I paid $7.5 grand for this car, which is actually a really decent price. And for how clean this thing was, I was pretty happy. So you guys can all see, yeah, as I said, standard barra. You guys can also see that it has a set of pacemaker extractors. So this car actually has a full exhaust system. I'm pretty sure it's an X-Force. Let's go have a little bit of a look, but we'll say on the tips if it does. Pretty sure it's an X-Force. It looks like X-Force tips. Yeah, it's X-Force. Cool. So it's got a full X-Force 2.5 inch, and we also have pacemaker extractors. Now I would expect this to be a lot louder. It's certainly not loud at all. It's a really, really nice sounding car. But in all fairness, if anyone out there has a completely stock exhaust for this car and you guys want to either add cash or just take it, completely swap it, please let me know, because I don't know whether my parents will like a horrible sounding NA barra. The best thing you can do to an NA barra to make it sound better is add more mufflers. So please, for the love of God, someone come and help me. But yes, beautiful NA barra. You guys can see it's honestly got, usually with these pacemaker extractors, usually they have like a an area where it's been leaking, but to be honest, I can't exactly see that down the side of the engine, but we will be going through it and just making sure that none of those there are leaking. As you guys can see, we have your standard power steering leak down there as well, so it's honestly not overly bad. It looks like it's been like a really slow leak, so that's not too bad at all. But looking underneath the car, I could not see any leaks whatsoever, which is insane. So I'm really happy to get a nice mechanically clean car for my dad. Really stoked about that. So there you guys go, my dad's new car and my project to fix up over the next couple of months. So first of all, there's a few things that I really want to point out there, and we're not going to be doing anything crazy on this car whatsoever. We're not going to be doing a massive big turbo conversion. We're not going to be going over the car and, you know, making it slammed and putting some mint wheels on it. We're just going to be keeping it pretty much exactly the same that it is right now. If anyone is out there and you guys want to swap some standard wheels for these ROH wheels, please let me know, because I'd be more than happy to just do like a straight swap or something with a set of Falcon 18s or 17s or something that looks nice, and something that's nice and stock. Also, if anyone out there has a BF or BA under tray for the bottom down there, I don't know if you guys can see it. If anyone has one of them, please let me know, because I want to get one for my dad. Of course, try and clean this car up a little bit. And if there is any brands out there that want to do anything with this car and make my dad stay when he gets his car, please let me know. Shoot me an Instagram DM or something like that, and we'll make it happen, because my dad is honestly one of my favorite people in this world, and yeah, I really want to make this car special for when he gets back. So I'm going to do my best over the next 2 months to clean it up as much as I can, make this car absolutely perfect, so he can just jump in it, turn the key, we'll be good to go. So yes, the gas struts work. They really work. Cool. So yeah, in terms of the color, it's breeze, it's beautiful. Douglas. There is one thing that I really do need to fix up on this car though, and that's just it has the shifter cable thing that's gone in it. So unfortunately, when you jump in the car and you want to put it into drive, I don't think it actually starts in P. So if I put my foot on the brake and try and start it, oh yeah, it starts. So reverse works completely fine, neutral works completely fine, and then when I go to put it into drive, I don't know whether that even worked. No. There we go. So you kind of have to like slam it into drive to actually make it work. So I really want to try and fix that up for Dad. It's pretty much the only issue that I have with this whole setup. Apparently it's just a shifter cable bush or something like that. So we'll get that sorted for him. But yeah, standard BF interior, not the premium sound or anything. So I know there's a few mods you can do to get Bluetooth audio or to get something along those lines. So I'll be seeing if I can get some Bluetooth audio for him. Looks like this has all been wrapped in carbon. It's actually not a bad job. I'm actually pretty stoked at that carbon wrap. I might leave that, that's sick. But yes, as I said, 214,000 Ks, interior is nice and clean, and it's a Ute. I've never actually owned a Ute, so yeah, for the next couple of months, I'll be just driving the car, feeling it out, making sure there's no issues whatsoever, actually physically driving the car. I can't actually feel anything wrong with it whatsoever. The bushes all feel nice, yeah, diff bushes, center bearing, turning, everything feels perfect. Honestly, just really stoked at this thing. It looks great. For the Ks that it has, it's been well looked after. I want to thank Jacob, the original owner of this car. Thank you for keeping it so nice. Really easy bloke to work out a deal with in this car. It's just really nice, and yeah, it's gonna make my dad's year. I feel like it's gonna be really nice. Now I would love to take you guys for a drive, but it's currently unregistered because we got no plates on it. So we're gonna get some new plates because he originally had personalized plates, so we got to change them over. But the aircon's cold. Sick. So another thing we also have to do is we have to do a heater core in this car. The heater is not working. It only works 100% cold, and I know that my dad definitely wants a heater as well as aircon, as well as my mum will definitely want a heater when she decides to take over this car as her own personal car because she likes the color of it. So with that said, we're gonna go park the car out the front, and we're gonna order some parts, make a little bit of a list of stuff that I want to fix up, and we'll send a list down to my friend Glenn down at Coastal Falcon Parts, and yeah, we'll get this thing sorted for Dad. I'm also going to fix the tint for him as well, so we'll do that because it's nowhere near dark enough for him. So there you have it, guys, the Breeze BF Ute. Let me know what you think. I'm stoked to be able to play around with this car for the next couple of months. It's going to be good fun. I'm keen to get back to my Falcon roots and just have a bit of a play around with the chassis and just enjoy it, and yeah, take me back a little bit. So yes guys, as I said, I know there's going to be a few people that are going to want to come together and help out to finish this car for my dad. Whether that's you personally have any parts that look better than the parts on the Ute, please send me a message on Instagram. I'm more than happy to work out something so we can get some parts on this car and make it 100% flawless. Like once again, if you guys have like a BF under tray, please let me know and we'll get that on the car. Even if you guys have like a set of even just like lowered leaves or something like that for the back so it doesn't look so much of a monster truck, let me know. I probably won't be lowering the car though. But yeah, any interior pieces like the handbrake boot or the center console, the lid or anything, even a steering wheel or something along those lines, if anyone has any parts whatsoever, soft cover, anything along those lines, please let me know. Send me a message via Instagram DMs or something like that. And if there's any companies out there that want to jump on board and make my dad's year when he gets back to Australia, please let me know. This is definitely going to be a little bit of a fun project to take from what is already a nice clean car that just needs a little bit of work done into a flawless Breeze BF. Part of me just wants to stance it out and have some fun. I know my dad wouldn't like that. Well, no, my dad would like that, my mum would hate it. Anyway guys, that is today's video. Once again, I want to hear some love down in the comments. Really do appreciate all you guys for coming along and sticking around, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.